Everybody, it's done. It has been a bit quiet on this channel, but there was a reason, and it was a big one. It was the launch of our newest version of myICOR. And everything that I will show you in this video was built by my AI team that I showed you already on this channel. How I built this from scratch is just based on a local folder and using Claude. And I want to take you on a tour through this application because this is not something simple. It's something very complex. And if anybody says AI is just hype, watch this, because impossible to do something like this just a year ago. I will also explain how the different team members worked on this application and how they kept growing with it. And in addition, already available today are not one, but 3 new courses teaching you from scratch, step by step, how to build your own AI team that helps you either with day-to-day work in your business or with your personal knowledge management. And we will see all this in a moment. So let's dive into this. First, we are here on the new community page, and I'm really excited because we've been running our membership on several platforms before. Circle, Mighty Networks, we even used WordPress and dedicated tools and so on. So if you're with me for a few years already, you know, since 2019 when I launched the first membership, we've been moving between platforms frequently because I was always for the search for something that really provides the value to our members that we had in mind, my co-founder Paco and I. And this is why we finally decided to move to our self-made platform from the ground up and kill it all. And this includes having a dedicated community where people can post. But here it already starts. That is completely different from what you might know from Skool and other platforms that you join. You see here posts from people, but they're all based on entities. So for example, this question is on the lesson, what is a node, in our ICOR journey course. You click there, you go there, you join the discussion. But this means no matter where people comment, it will surface in the right way, on the right spot. So for example, if I go back here, I know there was just a post from somebody posting about Sono, a new AI note taker, and he actually commented on the tool itself. So if I go here, we are here on Sono, there's not much information here, but you see there's the comments down below here, and he just commented on the tool and it appears there. The same appears when I start writing and I start mentioning tools. I can actually mention any tools, and we get to this in a moment, why it's possible to mention these tools. And this same comment will appear in both discussions. Okay. Also, on this new community, we see always the latest podcast, the latest golden nuggets, the latest releases of the video, the article, and so on. And when we go here, all this is not just the YouTube video embedded. No, we have our own database where we custom host all these videos. This means that we have full control over the transcript and the timestamps. And this will become very important later on when we come to the weekly coaching sessions. But this means that you have here a high-speed video experience, no loading, no advertising from YouTube or anything, because it's just local in our own tool. Plus detailed blog posts below these videos that show you the step-by-step. So if you watched any videos on this channel and you want to dive deeper, just for this alone, it's worth going in there because you get the step-by-step instructions and again the discussions below too. So talking about new content, we can go here to latest content, and here's now our whole library where Paco shares his articles, our podcast episodes. We even have complete playlists that get you started with something specific. And the reading experience, you can tell me yourself. All the design, all this was done by the AI team, and I get into this in a moment. But this is how you can now experience Paco's articles. No advertising, nothing. And you can join for free, start your trial, and you can access all this for free during your trial to check this out for yourself. Then we have our live events. We go live every Monday, and you might have seen it already on YouTube. This actually happens inside the membership too. So you see already the people who are RSVP'd here, they're joining, and there's a dedicated chat for these live sessions every Monday that you can join. But there are also these dedicated inner circle sessions where we have weekly coaching every Tuesday, where we actually meet in person with our inner circle members to answer any questions that you might have with your setup. And those who know us, it's not all about AI. It is about productivity end to end, from information to action, from note-taking to personal knowledge management to task management, project management, and eventually automation and AI. And this is all based on 5 courses that we get into a moment. But these inner circle sessions, they're all recorded and they become available then in this coaching sessions library. So if you become an inner circle member, you have instant access to all these recordings. And you see, this is not just a simple recording that is here, because this is all based again on our self-hosted video platform. This means that we have now here chapters for these coaching sessions explaining in text what we discussed there. We show the tools that were discussed in this chapter. You can click the tool, you go to the tool right here, you see the details, how I'm using it, there are discussions and so on. So you see slowly how everything is interconnected in this platform. I'm really excited about this. And we have here timestamps where we jump directly into this position of where this was talked about. See, boom, we have a picture-in-picture preview here that you can keep watching and you can just read in parallel, and you see just by clicking it jumps around in the different timestamps, and that makes it so powerful. But the thing is, the pain point, I mean, this helps already a lot. You don't need to watch all these recordings to get what you're looking for, but you can now have these chapters to read through. But this becomes more powerful obviously if you have a search that actually encourages this. So if I search for something like Claude, this search that we have, and you can pin it even, has a glossary. So if you search for something, see, it has a semantic search. It understands that we could look for Claude. So it comes up with the glossary explaining what a model is. You have a click to jump to the lesson in our AI mastery course that then explains what models are with individual chapters and so on. You can go here and here's the magic, coaching recordings. So I can perfectly just click here. It opens up the recording. It starts the video and it jumps into the position that the research result shows. And you see immediately me showing here Claude and how it works in the terminal in this case and explaining the details. I think this is mind-blowing. I was part of so many communities in the past, and that was something I was working on for so long to make this work seamlessly and deeply integrated, because we go one step further. Instead of just having search here, we have also PAX, which is our AI community manager. And if you go here to the all new AI library where all the agents are available that I'm using personally, you find even checks the community manager that you can download for yourself to use to start working in your own community if you have one. But this being said, all this is based on the foundation of the AI courses, and the foundation is in these workshop courses, as we call them, which there are 3 courses. The foundations course that gives you the basic structure of the folders, and we look into this in a moment, and then you have 2 additional courses that build on top of this foundation. One is building an IPA system, intelligent process automation. This is literally the system that I used to build this whole application that I'm just sharing here with you. And then we have the PKA system that is for your personal knowledge management, personal knowledge assistance as we call it. And this sets your personal knowledge management on autopilot. That's what you might have seen from my co-founder already when he shared his daily journaling. That's what I'm using. I just need to hand over a screenshot to this team and it will create a daily journal out of this, and I will do much more videos. Obviously, this is now all about the myICOR application, but you can be sure now that this is live, I'm so happy because I freed up. Now I can go back all in to YouTube to talk about all the things that you love. But I want just to show you proof of concept, what is possible today using Claude and this specific structure of managing an AI team in order to accomplish something that I'm sharing in this video here with you. So these workshop courses are not just simple lessons that you just watch. These are step-by-step guides where you go, let's go into this, for example, create a root folder. It explains to you step by step what folders you are creating, why you're creating them, what's the concept behind this, all the prompts that you might need. And here you can follow along, just copy out the prompt and just talk to your Claude and it will create this folder for you. Here is a quick access to the prompts, but also for each lesson you get the snapshot of the folder structure, including all the files and everything that you can download in order to start working, which also means in return that I can always go to the last session of the course and simply download this folder structure and I start using it from day one. I don't need to watch the whole course, but the course is really important in order to understand why this is built in the way that it is built, and that's why we put so much effort into this to really lay out the details about the logic behind this. And for those who didn't follow me on this channel yet, the principles are like working with an actual human team. You have one orchestrator that I call Larry. He will be your Spock, your single person of contact that you reach out to, that you might have seen like OpenClaw and so on. These are these personal assistants. They do all in one. But here we have a real orchestration. He's a real who delegates the work that you give to him. But the thing is, who should it delegate it to? That's where all the different agents come into play. And the first 3 agents you build in this foundations course is Larry, of course, is then Nolan, who is the HR person hiring new agents, and Pax, the deep research analyst, who goes out to find the perfect skill sets for these agents just on the web, okay? So this means whenever you say to Larry, out of the box, just download the folder, you want to build something very specific, let's say, I don't know, you want to design a slide deck or something, he will know that there is no specific designer agent available, reaching out to Nolan and then to Pax to find the perfect person and then hiring one. And in my case, it would be Iris. And again, if you don't want to do all this, you can download these agents as well inside myICOR. And this is Iris that you can download that I used. So all the design that you see on this app, all this was defined by Iris by just talking with Larry what I want, and Iris was going out there doing the research, hardening the design system, writing down the SOPs and the team knowledge and so on. So everybody sticks now to the system that Iris is proposing, and this is really amazing because with the new Opus 4.7 there was a huge leap. You might have heard about the Claude design. I don't need this platform Claude design. I'm just using Iris and Opus 4.7 and she does all the job. But you see also we have others like Pixel, who is doing the thumbnails that you see on YouTube. He's a dedicated agent doing just this and is professionalized in using Nano Banana from Gemini and so on. I don't want to dive too deep into this, but this is something that you get all here, all based on this foundation. And by having this, the core team that was working on this application, Felix, it is Pixel creating the generated images. It is Iris with the design system. Well, many in combination. We have a queue manager who double checks that everything is correct. We have an application security engineer. Many things that come into play here. For example, database architect and so on. That you might even don't know for your use case. Because for most people, what's most interesting is actually the knowledge assistance, which is again 14 lessons where we dive into everything that you need to start using your AI team helping you with your personal knowledge. And why would you use a team for your knowledge? Well, because you again want to have specialists helping you with different private things, like a health coach, somebody who writes your journal. You might find that you need somebody helping you organizing all your scanned documents. These things can be perfectly used with this final file. You just downloaded it here and then you have full access. Let's do this. Let's download it. I show you how this works. See, lesson 14. I downloaded it. I unpacked this zip file and here it is. Just downloaded it and you have all you need. You have your PKA system. You have already a database in there. You have journaling, and all I need to do now is opening this up in my Claude, either Claude or in Codex or anything else. So it works. So I can go to Claude and I can even use Cowork for this. I just go here. I open this folder that I just downloaded. Here's the folder. I open this up and now I'm inside this folder and I just start by asking, who are you? And here we are. I'm Larry, your AI orchestrator. Here's how it works, my core jobs. It explains you everything. This is what he knows already based on my memory inside co-work. And now I could just hand over journal entries and things like this. And that's something I will do in dedicated videos to show you how this actually all works. But you see, it's perfectly working. And if we go to our members, you see we have already 4,700 members. It's crazy, people. I love you all. Thanks for joining. And they're going through these courses. And it's amazing what you build, because this gives you the foundation to really then expand everything in a way that you want. If you want to use it with Obsidian, perfect, no problem. Just go to Obsidian and open this folder inside Obsidian. Here we are, PKM. See, you have the same folders. And what I recommend then in Obsidian, you go to Community Plugins and search for terminal, enable, and that's it. Now you have this new icon here. I can click here, click on integrated. It opens up a terminal now. And now you can just launch Claude. If you're used to terminal, as I showed in many videos before, it is no magic using the terminal. In fact, I was using terminal only in VS Code to build all this out, but you can use whatever you like. You could also obviously use on this code base there, but now you can perfectly work inside this folder structure with Claude Code inside Obsidian. That might be also another video, but I can show you. Who are you? And you see, I'm Larry, UA. And did you see with Opus 4.7, it was actually much faster than using Haiku in co-work. I love using terminal. It's so much faster in my opinion and gives much better results. And so now here we have the My Life structure, the key elements where everything is organized. And this is all based on the ICOR methodology, because everything that we teach is actually based on a fundamental methodology, which is the ICOR methodology, where you learn all the concepts and workflows that defines a productivity system end to end. That's especially useful for professionals who are knowledge workers and want to stay on top of their work. This is what this is for, and this is the progress tracker that you have here for your ICOR journey. It's all new as well, and you can dive into these sessions, into these lessons, and here you go. Each lesson has a video, it has a magic slide explaining in short what this is, it has a TLDR, and in the other course I didn't even show it. Each lesson has also a cheat sheet to quickly understand what is the difference, and here we just talk about one concept, which is what is a node. And well, you might think, well, I know what a node is. Maybe after reading this you get a different perspective on this as well, like all these members below that all share how amazing these insights are. So we're really blessed with all these people in here who appreciate what we are building here. And the thing is, this can be overwhelming. You don't want to go through all these lessons end to end. That's something we never believed in, that you just consume and never implement. That's why we have this new growth assignment approach, where each lesson has 4 questions, and based on your answer it gives you recommendations why and what you should do instead. And this is not just some random answers, it gives you actually a score for this lesson. And now if you move forward in this course through the different lessons and you do all this, you get these indicators as I showed you here, that gives you a heat map of what is already implemented, what is already going well for you and what is not. And then you can perfectly just go back to the yellow or even the red ones and then dive deeper into this specific thing. And as I said, everything is interconnected. This means the search knows about these lessons and checks the community manager that I mentioned earlier. He's jumping in there too. And whenever there are questions, and if we are amazed because you see so many people directly reach out to checks inside the comments because you can mention him and then he appears there and either he escalates directly to Paco or me, or he gets it because he is learning every day now. That's the last thing that I implemented before I launched, that Jax is learning from all the answers that Paco and I give to our community people. So he really learns about the question and the answers that we give, but he's also trained on thousands articles, videos, podcast episodes, all the lessons, the whole ICOR journey book, and all these coaching sessions as well, so that he can actually point people not not only to a lesson, but directly to a timestamp in a coaching session, for example, or to relevant discussions and more like this. I'm really happy with when it comes to support, as we really doubled down, and it's only Paco and me now in this myICOR business, which doesn't mean that we don't have people. Paco is running 4 businesses in parallel with a marketing agency of 70 people working in there. They are all, by the way, using AI systems like that we teach here. But in our own business for myICOR, with all the articles and videos and all the things that we create in here, it's just Paco and me and the AI team that we teach in this workshop courses. This means that I was also able to replace the previous support ticket system with our self-made. You can click here and you can just start creating a new support ticket. How to integrate Slack with Claude. He will make a proper recommendation where to look for. And as you can see, he's pulling now all the resources, giving you article, but also coaching individual lessons in the course too. So if we go here, you see it opens up Paco's articles where Paco shares step by step how he is using every day Slack and how he integrated it and all this. And out of this, we create again new courses and new lessons. This is really powerful, and that's something we both been dreaming of for years, to get something so deeply integrated with everything as we have here. And it all started with this, the ICOR framework. It was something that was based on paper and that we taught to our inner circle members already years. And then last year in June, when Claude Code became a thing, this was the first iteration of what we now have, a fully fledged out learning and membership platform. It started with this, where our members are able to search for tools, let's say Slack. You can add this to your tool tray and then you can move it into the right field, which represents a specific part of your productivity system. So we have here PPM, personal project management or task management, PKM, personal knowledge management, BKM, business knowledge management, and BPM, business project management. So now you think about what tools you already have and how you use them. And just by laying them out here, it already tells you so much about the gaps that you might have or the redundancies that you might have. On the side, you see these are utility apps. So there are Claude and so appearing. You see there's still my Heptabase and so on. In fact, Claude killed them all. I just have my local folder where I do my knowledge management now. But this is still there on this ICOR framework to show you. And this is where you get the overview. And by laying this out, it goes a long way. Because this way we have our ICOR Tool Finder. And these are all the tools that our users are using. You see 420 people are using Gmail, for example, and here I can now filter by personal knowledge management, and now I see what people are using for personal knowledge management. I can actually filter by the job title, the industries. So let's say I need a tool for, let's say I'm in consulting, I'm a CEO and founder, and then it shows me all the tools that these people are using for PKM, and there we go. Okay, this is where this goes a long way. I can click into this, I get insights for each tool, how people are using it, what they are connecting it to, what subcategories they're using it with, what platforms they're using. This is all real use cases and not something generated that you might know from these comparison platforms where they have affiliate links and they just position the things the way that you want it. No, this is real data from people who are using it, the pros and cons they're using. None of this is positioned or affiliated or anything. This is community built, and this is really amazing, and this is where everything starts to connect together. We have then also the note-taking framework, something that we teach in the ICOR journey, where you think about different workflows of note-taking. It's part of the note-taking like a pro course. You just click here, you can jump to the lesson to learn what this is all about, write and connect information. You have a very in-depth, look at this, where you can really dive deep. That's why we always recommend to go through the questions first to find the pain points, and then you can dive deep into the vertical contact. But for all of that, we have always the TLDR, we have the cheat sheet, so you really can speed up in learning these things on autopilot. So then you can lay out your tool stack here and understand perfectly what note-taking and PKM tool you use for what workflow in your note-taking. We have also tool workflow connector that you can just use to get a better understanding how you use the tools in combination. What is it? Information and action flow. These things all available for the members too. You see the functionalities are endless, and then we also have the Workstream Creator that helps you to lay out simple workflows, but they look so simple. When you click on it, you have a lot more details that you can add here. So you can assign people, you can see if it is an AI-driven workflow, if it is automated, and then you can switch to the responsibility view where you see what process step am I doing, what is the team doing, what is automated, and you can simply just drag around these things here to reorganize this. That's what we teach inside the Automation Like a Pro course, where we not only talk about this, but also about how to approach AI, when to automate before you delegate, and all these things. That's what you learn in the ICOR journey. And last but not least, we have an expanding other courses where just the email management course alone is something other people would sell separately. This is all included in this one membership that we offer, and it is endless, and we keep expanding it. You see here the Cloud Mastery for professionals. If you go to the AI Mastery and I start, we have these magic slides again for each lesson. We really dive deep. You have the cheat sheets to really explain to you the foundations of AI. So you are really independent, and the beautiful thing here is really everything is tool agnostic. No matter what we teach, you can apply this to any tool that you use. Productivity tool and AI tool alike. I could use now switch to Codex or Gemini, and I can use the AI team perfectly based on the folder structure and files that we have created with the team. And the goal behind all this was really that I love being in there in Paco. So we really love using the application and being personally in there to support you guys on your journey to build up your perfect productivity system end to end and automate it either directly or with AI. We have proof here that it is working, not only through this application that we built with it, but also if you look into all the other businesses where real world work gets done. So if anybody says AI is just hype, well, we know it's not hype, but we're really hyped about it. So if you're not a member yet, I welcome you. If you've been a member just 2 months ago, you will come back and you will see a complete new platform and experience in there. The doors are wide open. Sign up for free and have a look, and I catch you up in there.